Are you still using a rotary dial phone when it comes to connecting with others spiritually? And have you not upgraded from the rotary dial phone to the new iPhone? It's funny how the rotary dial phone looks like a atom with the neurons and the electrons around it. You have two symbols of the rotary dial phone, one at 6 o'clock and one at 12 o'clock. It's kind of like a compass. You have the compass energy, and it's always either pointing up or down. I want you to take a real good look at the hat man, the helmet at 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock. The helmet itself makes the letter A, and inside the helmet says Area 51. Area 51 in Gematria actually reflects behead. So notice that the father-like figure is beheading someone. He's also kicking a rotary dial phone, and the rotary dial phone is kicking kind of toward your head at 7 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, you are also like praying for guidance, but you have a vulture over your head. This is an energy of death. The number on the axe reflects many explanations. Some of them are kind of funny, and I'm not sure they actually apply, but I will showcase them right now. So push pause and read what Gematria has presented to you as far as the axe goes. What I'm learning about alien-looking beings that are within us, like we're all part alien, part AI, is kind of like Harry Potter dominating his lower self, Voldemort, and Dorothy dominating her reptilian lower self, the Wicked Witch. Because on the spirit realm, I saw you in a restaurant, and there was this woman, and she saw you, and she was holding your face, and she said, "You are an alien," and I saw these veins in your face and blue blood and all this stuff, and she took an old telephone and smashed your head in, and then threw you down a doorway that it was like no stairs, and closed the door and left you there. Like a murder. She killed your lower self, or she tried to kill your lower self, I'm not sure. So the metaphor of killing a part of ourself, whether with water, with the witch, or cutting the head off a snake, or crucifixion on a cross, is to allow our higher self to dominate us. And when we allow our higher self to dominate us, we have to become obedient to that voice. And, like Dorothy's higher self was Glinda. This higher self often comes to us as a representation of a bird, giving us our wings, but also comes to us as our crown. And even biblically, there's this crown time. We are currently in the corona crown. Many of us are going crazy. Many of us are being awoken. Many of us are cracking open the egg of our mental mind in order to allow spirit to infiltrate and dominate so that we can go to our destiny and our power. But there are those who are refusing and are still fighting with their lower selves. And there are people who are connected to your lower self. Often, if you were raised with a narcissistic family, these are families that are a reflection of our lower self and a lower life. So we often detach from these people because it is our destiny to transform and become someone new, kind of like the gray wizard Gandalf transforming into the white wizard. Jesus at 12 years old left everyone behind and came back powerful. Harry Potter at 12 years old left everyone and came back powerful. Same thing with Dorothy. So you are spiritually like 12 years old, and it's time for you to leave everyone behind, and you're just having a hard time doing that, so you're still fighting with your lower self. If you've ever looked at Dantes Divine Comedy, look it up or get the book. I have the book. And it reflects that you were a Greek god, Pallas. And Pallas fought Zeus. And because you fought Zeus in a battle, you were sent to a hell. And this hell was called Tartarus. And it put you in a lower realm, which you are in a lower realm. You are associated with a bronze anvil or like a spear, kind of like an axe that you have in your piece there. In the Divine Comedy, the Greek gods who fought Zeus were damned to be bound to the moon. And so that is what I see in your pieces with the Hatman, the Archon. This is all moon energy. It's matrix energy. It's a lower self energy being bound to the moon. So because you angered Zeus, you were judged, and you were judged as a sinner. And a sinner is known as the moon. The moon is known as sin in ancient terminology. You are associated with the moon and the dawn. So the moon and the sun. You have the phone. A phone has a circle on the top, an old phone, and a circle on the bottom. This reflects the sun and the moon. And then you have these wine glasses. A wine glass has a circular bottom and a circle top, the sun and the moon. You also have compasses. Now, I believe that a compass reflects not being polarized by the sun and the moon, but following a divine order, following the North Star, and following the Holy Spirit and the Holy Dove, allowing that spirit to dominate you instead of a lower moon energy dominating you. In your divinity, you're holding a mirror, and this mirror has a dominating boy with his mom and his dad on his head. And this is something that needs to be broken and sanctified and released and forgiven, and so that you can go from manhood to godhood. Ancient pictures of Pallas reflected him conquering lower selves, lower beings, people who were from a lower realm, and he would push them down to where they belonged. And so here you are again in your life, having to push down a lower self and dominating a lower self. Because on the spirit realm, I saw that this lower self was very sarcastic and was like very mean to somebody. And this lower self wants to dominate, wants to be in control. And even people who study the jinn talk about how difficult it is to dominate the jinn. It's very hard. It's very much like Dorothy and Harry Potter. Harry Potter had a really hard time dominating Voldemort. In the Divine Comedy, the angel, and there's an angel next to you that looks like someone in the Divine Comedy, tells everyone that you must forgive and let go and release all self-indulgent feelings, all feelings of self, and just have faith, believe, fill yourself with joy, let go, and transform. Because the bird that is next to you is the bird that takes you higher to the higher realms and to the heavens. Notice that a compass looks like a dragon's eye as well. So now you're going to allow your higher self, which is Pallas, to dominate you. And this higher self is much stronger than your lower self. Your lower self is that small alien being. And your higher self is very, very strong. And this power is going to take you to where you need to be in your life. And it looks like the telephone and the wine glasses are still going to play a role, not just a metaphorical role. Until you dominate your lower self completely and cut off all the negative energies, you're not going to find your path. So once you allow your higher self to dominate, then you're going to find yourself in customer service somehow. You're going to be around people. You're going to be helping people. I know you worked in a restaurant, but I'm wondering if you should shift to more, maybe a hotel. Almost like a hotel management or something. Once Pallas, the Greek god of the Golden Age, reflected the moon, and now Pallas reflects the Golden Age of the sun, PS, and the halo around the head. Now, you had so many gematria communications, and I wanted to tell you one that I thought was hilarious, and this is you kissing the face of a beaver, and the beaver itself wanted to tell you something in gematria right here. Let's go vegan. The symbologies in your original piece reflects the sun and the moon. The sun and the moon are at 11 o'clock. There's moon energy and Cygnus energy at 7 o'clock. And then you have some symbology of all moon energy. All the people around you have moon energy. This is the Archon, the Hat Man, the ignorance, the low vibes, the flesh, alien energy. And you're at a crossroad. You have a railroad sign near you saying you're at a crossroad. You have to choose the moon or the sun. Your grandmother is telling you not to look back. You'll turn into a pillar of salt. Your family has been attached to the moon energy for a long time, and so it just takes us a leap of faith and going away from the low density energy to going to your destiny. The following numbers in gematria are communications for you as well.